चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 1. So we begin a new chapter today. We are also very fortunate to have His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami to give a class. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm not hearing now. Maybe you need to unmute yourself. Maybe that may be it. I don't know. We'll see. Hare Krishna.
Arba.
We can hear you now, Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpataribhya Kripa Sunubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayana Namaskritya Narancheva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Muddirayet Nastrapaye Sabhadrisu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naistiki. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 1. Okay. Sutta hovacha Obheya Sakha iti vachas Tattva nichayam atmanaha Upadharya matim Krishne Ottareya satim vyadat. Sutta hovacha Veya Sakha iti vacha iti vachas Tattva nichayam atmanaha Upadharya matim Krishne Ottareya satim vyadat. Sutta hovacha veya saka iti vachas tatva nichayamatmanaha upadharya matim Krishna Otareya satim vyadat. So word for word translation and purport. By divine grace is confined Acharya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yay.
Sutta Hovacha, Sutta Goswami said, Vyasake of Sukadev Goswami, iti does, Vachaha speeches, Tatvanichayam, that which verifies the truth, Atmanaha, in the self, Upadharya, just having realized, Matim, concentration of the mind. Krishna, unto Lord Krishna. Uttareyaha, the son of Uttara. Satim, chaste. Vyadat, applied. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, after hearing the speeches of Sukadev Goswami, which were all about the truth of the self, applied his concentration faithfully upon Lord Krishna. Purport. The word satim is very significant. This means existing and chaste, and both imports are perfectly applicable in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. The whole Vedic adventure is to draw one's attention entirely upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna without any diversion, as instructed in the Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Fortunately, Maharaj Parikshit had already been attracted to the Lord from the very beginning of his body in the womb of his mother. In the womb of his mother, he was struck by the Brahmanstra atomic bomb released by Ashwatthama, but by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from being burned by the fiery weapon. And since then, the king continuously concentrated his mind upon Lord Krishna, which made him perfectly chaste in devotional service. So, by natural sequence, he was a chaste devotee of the Lord. And when he further heard from Srila Sukadev Goswami that one should worship the Lord only and no one else, even though full of all desires or desireless, his natural affection for Krishna was strengthened. We have already discussed these topics. To become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, two things are very much essential, namely having a chance to be born in a family of a devotee and having the blessings of a bona fide spiritual master. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj had both opportunities. He was born in a family of such devotees as the Pandavas, and just to continue the dynasty of the Pandavas and show them special favor, the Lord specifically saved Maharaj Parikshit, who later on, by the arrangement of the Lord, was cursed by the boy of a Brahmana and was able to get the association of such a spiritual master and Lord Krishna, achieves the part of devotional service. This was perfectly applicable in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. By way of being born in a family of devotees, he automatically came in touch with Krishna. And And after being so contacted, he constantly remembered him. Consequently, Lord Krishna gave the king a further chance for development in devotional service by introducing him to Sukadeva Goswami, a stalwart devotee of the Lord with perfect knowledge and self-realization. And by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master, he was perfectly able to concentrate his chaste mind further upon Lord Krishna as a matter of course. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Saksuru Malitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthafitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Andeham Si Gurum Si Yutapada Kamalam Si Gurun Vaishnavancha Si Rupam Sagrajatam Saha Gana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadveta Sarvadhuta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Si Radha Krishna Pada Saha Gana Lalita Vishakam Vitanscha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatari Becha Kripasundam Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanam Bhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodita Godadhaya Puspavantu Chita Chantamon Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadara Si Vasadi Segor Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Semate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Etanam Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pachari Singing Bali Pastor. So welcome everyone to this morning Bhagavatam class right here in Harrisburg. So here in this very text, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada very much emphasized fundamental things in our devotional life, to be born in the family of devotees and to have a spiritual master. These are two essential tools that help to propel the embodied soul towards perfection. Because in most cases, we find that someone may be desirous to perform devotional service to the Lord. But then the circumstances surrounding him are very unfavorable. And I have seen this a lot. Even recently, someone wrote me, I think he went to my website on the internet, and he sent me a message saying that he's been chanting, and he's a university student. He said he's been chanting. I don't really know the guy, but many people may know me, but I may not know them. So he sent a message saying that what to do now? What do I do with my life? I've been chanting, and my parents are very antagonistic. They don't want me to chant at all. And they're Indian parents. They're Indian boy. So sometimes we have these kids in the families of devotees that, sometimes some of the kids that take things for granted. I've seen this. This was just a recent case. I've seen cases where someone is trying to chant and to live a life of ethical values, devotional values. Some people, they don't like it. The parents, they don't like it. They would prefer that their children, they go to the clubs and then, drink and drunk and, do whatever they want to do. They are more satisfied with that. And I've seen also cases where someone is trying to be a devotee, chanting, the parents are not devotees, and again, these are not Western parents. The parents were from India. And the child will go into because the parents are very antagonistic to chanting. What is there that a child should be ethical? What is a loss? But no, the condition jiva, no. They have all this bizarre mindset that my child shall not become ethical. My child should just become, like another crazy child out there. So I've seen some of these stuffs and it's so pathetic. It's just so bad. And this is not Puranic stories. We're seeing them right here on this planet in the 21st century. So those who are born in devoted families, they should understand it's not so free for everybody out there. Some people are interested to serve Krishna. They're interested to perform devotional service. They're interested, even Georgia chanting. I know a case of one of my former mentees that she will go and lock up herself in the bathroom in the dead of night to try to chant. The mother wakes up, and the first thing she does in the night, the mother wakes up to go, and then she goes straight to the daughter's room to check whether she's sleeping on her bed. If she's not found sleeping on her bed, the mother knows she must be in the bedroom chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. And she will break the door of the bedroom and beat the hell out of her. It happened here in America. And therefore, the kids who are privileged to be born in devoted families, they should just be very grateful to the Lord. And Prabhupada said that in the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada mentions that people who come to Krishna consciousness, they're trying to be devotees, they're practicing, they are not ordinary people. They are people who tried to be devotees to perfect their lives in their previous births, and they could not accomplish it. They could not finish it. And so in this life, they are attracted to Krishna. They are attracted to devotional service. And therefore, we need to understand that this process, like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavamam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudolapa. It's very rare to find somebody who is dedicating their lives to Lord Krishna's service. The demigods are there for people to get quick fixes. So why waste your time with this Lord Krishna? You may even beg for something and it seems as if he's not hearing you. So just go to Lord Shiva, just go to Ganesh, just go to Durga and get a quick fix. Why not? But Prabhupada says, look, we may have all types of desires, or practically no desire. That's a very nice verse in the Bhagavatam. Akarma sarva karma va moksha karma udara. The implication of that verse is that, Krishna is saying, whether you have all types of desires, come to me. If you are full, you are free from all desires. You are an Atmaram, still his doors are open to all and sundry. Everybody is invited to participate in devotional service. Why? Because this is the gateway to extrications from the material encumbrances, this whole chain of material existence, which is characterized by old age, disease, and death. And we don't have, why we don't have malls that sell old age and disease? We don't have malls selling old age and disease, because if we do have malls, they will not have customers. Who wants to get old? Who wants to get sick? And sometimes people are just they're so disgusted with the world because of the wars. Wars are just agencies or means of torture and suffer and death. And this is Meteoroloca. This is the planet of death. So if we are disgusted with wars, we are disgusted with diseases, and then this is not this is this is not this is, we should not feel comfortable on this planet. We should really strive to get ourselves out of this place, because there is another world, and that world is Krishna's abode. And in Krishna's world, Krishna's abode, there is no question of disease, old age, or someone not allowing you to chant Hare Krishna, okay? You may have all the good intentions, and then you have so much of family pressure that, no, you cannot chant. I remember when I was younger, still in Nigeria, there was this temple president. No, he was regional secretary. And you know what the family members did? They got military officers to come and bundle him up from the temple, and that was the end of his devotional career. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Even my case was such that, I have my father's one of my father's younger sister. She was married to a military officer, and so this was a very beautiful lady when we were small. I used to know her, and when I joined, my father didn't have any problem with me, but some of the members, some family members, they thought we have to get him out from that place. We have to. So this lady, she spoke to her husband. She asked the husband, "Hey, hubby, do you love me?" The husband said, of course I love you. I love you, darling. So what's up? So she said, if you really love me, go get my brother out of that place.
Wow.
Yeah. So this story, I had it afterwards, because when I visited one of my friend's brother, and then he took me to this family. This is my auntie's family. And then before we went there, he was telling me the story, how, this guy, the soldier, when the wife told him that, go and get my brother out of that place if you really love me. So, you know what? Krishna just inspired that military guy. Otherwise, I would have been a victim of circumstance too. So the husband said, all right, I'll do anything for you. But you show me one person, just a single person in your family who has that boy's intelligence. If you show me one person in your family who has his intelligence, I'm going to bring him out. And the woman, she had no response to that. So he told her, just keep quiet. You pray for him. Whatever you're choosing to do must be the right path for him. So these things are going on. People are very antagonistic to you being involved in devotional practice. And someone who has been blessed with a bed to be born in a devoted family, you don't have these issues. What parents do is to even urge you, to motivate you to take to devotional service. The opposite is the case with some people out there. And therefore, the devotees who are born in a movement, we have to understand that this is a serious merit we should never toy with. We should not play around with. And so here in the Prabhupada basically emphasize that these people who are born within this circumstance, they are also automatically exposed to gurus, because they either are born in a situation where there are gurus coming in that environment, in that community, and so they can really connect with any of the gurus who is coming there. So it makes it pretty easy for their for them to continue their devotional life, and we're not praying to come back again to this material world. You see, the tendency is, okay, I have, it's a lifelong process. Let me go gradual, and I cannot finish everything this life. Next life, then I'll continue from there. This is procrastination. So the important factor for us is to understand why and how to be able to become more serious in our devotional life, because devotional life matters. And people people who do not have the devotional culture, they always become a statistics in matter of crime, in matter of antisocial values, and so many other things. As far as devotional life is concerned, one automatically acquires qualities and values that don't propel them to get into even criminal behavior. So it's not just about going back to Godhead, but there are so many values that if you even go to some places, people look at you like, oh, this person is not from this planet. People are very proud of becoming vegetarians in America. That's why the vegan society is really like in vogue. So, and we are not just advocating that people don't commit violence. Our advocacy is that the worship of Lord Krishna is the be all and end all of our human existence. And therefore, we can just give in some time. Krishna is not saying we should not do anything else. We could integrate devotional practice in our daily activities. Whether we are students, whether we are professionals, it's pretty easy. And the requirement in the present age is not such a big deal, just to chant 16 rounds, minimum. And what is the difficulty of chanting 16 rounds? We have so much time. We have 24 hours of the day. And within the 24 hours, we may say, well, we don't have the time. But we do have the time if we analyze our 24 hours, how we use our 24 hours properly. Because the fact is that if we abuse time, time will haunt us. Time will deal with us. Because we are all subject to the effect of time. And so if we don't use the time properly, rather we abuse the time, then we'll suffer some consequences. So it is important for devotees to understand, and especially those who have been blessed to be born in devotional families, to take the scriptures seriously. So in Prabhupada also makes a reference to the Bhagavad Gita 15:15, wherein Lord Krishna mentions that he is the purport, he is the Veda, he is to be known. Someone reads the Vedic literature, someone studying the Vedic literature, what is the goal? Is to know Krishna. And it's not only just to know Krishna, but Krishna is the one who even wrote the Vedas in the form of Vyasadeva. He appeared as Vyasadeva to put these Vedas, to jot them down. The Vedas have been there since time immemorial, right from the beginning of the cosmic creation. But then Vyasadeva seeing that in Kali Yuga, especially, people are very much deprived of a high attention span. And so he came to write these things down, because just listening alone will not really create that type of impact on the embodied soul. So he wrote these Vedic literatures, he put them down in written form, so that we have a chance to be able to go through, to read, and absorb ourselves. Now, the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. You see, by listening, in other words, why we have to leave our busy morning schedule to come and do Bhagavatam class? For what? Huh? I have to go to work, I have to go to school, or I have to engage in some domestic activities. Why have to waste my time to come and listen to Bhagavatam class? Now, it is not a waste of time. This is part of the purificatory system in devotional culture. Because the Bhagavatam itself states that Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu, we are so much trouble. Our minds, the mirror of our mind is so dusty that we can't even see our reflections on the mirror of our mind. And therefore, the Bhagavatam helps by hearing the Bhagavatam, by reciting the Bhagavatam. This helps in cleansing all of our impurities. All of our nantas are practically brought to nil just by listening or by reciting the Bhagavatam. And this process is not just beginning in ISKCON. Sutta Goswami, who was speaking to sages, headed by Sunaka Rishi. And They were sages. They were not ordinary people. They were the ones listening to the Bhagavatam. Maharaj Parikshit was a king. He was not an ordinary person. And so we cannot compare ourselves to Maharaj Parikshit. We cannot compare ourselves to the sages of Namisaraya. An essential factor is that we are being exposed to these teachings so that we can take advantage of this human form of life and make hay while the sun shines. And our lives should be focused on Krishna, and therefore we need to constantly practice how to focus on Krishna. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, man mana bhava mahabat, mam yaji mam namask. So this engagement of the mind, it has to come through practice. What nobody simply jumps up and then start thinking of Krishna 24/7. It comes with practice. And therefore, the process of devotional life that has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada is to help us to integrate Krishna consciousness in our daily activities and to come to a level or a platform where we can be in samadhi a later part of our life, to constantly think of Krishna, engage in Krishna's service. And so the Bhagavatam, listening to the Bhagavatam, coming to Bhagavatam classes is as sine qua non in devotional perfection. In other words, it is not something that we can toil with. We can't, just throw it on the under the bus. It has to be part of our daily life. In fact, those who live in the temples, they have a chance to be hearing the Bhagavatam every day. And those who are living in devotional communities, also we have to have that sense of belonging in terms of coming as a community. Community means what? It comes from two words: commune, to communicate with empathy, and unity. In other words, the Bhagavatam enhances our community development, because the Bhagavatam brings us to the understanding that we are not these bodies, we are spirit souls, parts and parcels of Krishna. In other words, we are a family. We are one family, Krishna family. And therefore, the devotional culture is also a means of synthesizing the whole cultural differences in society and bringing them to that simple form, that single point of Krishna consciousness. So yeah, we need to be more serious in our devotional life. If we've been coming to devotional, hanging out with the devotees for maybe 2 years, 3 years, and we are yet to come to the stage of chanting 16 rounds, we need to buckle up. Oh yeah, because time waits for nobody, and we can't say, well, when I get old, when I get maybe at the age of 65 or 70, then I'll start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds. No, because we don't know whether we're going to get to that stage before we quit this body. Maharaj Parikshit had the opportunity of knowing or being told in 7 days, hey, Raja, you have to quit this body. And we don't know. We don't know when we have to quit this body. And so we have to imbibe a culture of emergency consciousness. My Guru Maharaj used to say, develop emergency consciousness, then you can excel in your devotional life. If we have to sit back and say, well, this is a secondary thing and I have some primary objectives to deal with, Krishna consciousness should not be a secondary issue in our lives. It should be our primary objective, because when we do even chant, do our sadhana before we go out for our walks, we are better off in prosecuting our daily professional activities. And so it is like, food for the spirit. It's food for the spirit. Hearing the Bhagavatam is food for the spirit. Chanting the holy names before we go out is food for the spirit. And you see, if you are practicing the culture in this way, the sadhana in that way, you'll see that, there may be so many difficulties and challenges even in your workplace, but you will not be affected. So, important thing is not just thinking that we have to become perfected souls and then get out from this material world, which is also a good thing. But in our daily lives, the application of these principles of devotional culture help to promote a healthy environment in our workplace, in our families, etc. So here, Maharaj Parikshit Suta Goswami is saying, Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, remember, when Maharaj Parikshit was born, was in the womb, during conception, he was to be killed, but Krishna protected him. Uttara, this Aswatthama, projected some nuclear weapons on Maharaj Parikshit to destroy him. But Krishna came to the rescue. Again, we trust in Krishna because Krishna is very competent. He's effective and he's efficient. You can't trust somebody who is not effective and efficient. You can't trust someone who does not follow up with his words. Krishna said, my devotee shall never perish. Nama bhakti pranashati. And we can see in the life of Maharaj Parikshit, he was to be destroyed by Aswatthama with a powerful weapon, a Brahmastra weapon. It's like a nuclear weapon, modern day nuclear weapons. But Krishna came to the rescue. Krishna protected him. We may not be exposed to a nuclear weapon, but the very fact that we have to pass through going to the war, it's like going to a war front. Each time you leave your home to go into the workforce or go into the school environment, it's like you're going to a war front. Soldiers going to the war front fully equipped with bulletproofs and ammunition. If someone is going to the war front and then he just puts on a swimming pant and tells his family or her family, hey, darling, hey, kids, I see you later. I doubt the probability of seeing that person later is 1 infinity. Then it was most unlikely because he's not equipped. Similarly, if we don't get ourselves equipped, if we don't bulletproof ourselves before we go out, it is not very likely that we will not be affected by the bombardments of the illusory energy. Therefore, our daily practice is based on how we prepare for the day with Krishna first. Krishna first, because Krishna is the one who protects. He protected even Uttara's womb from the Brahmastra weapon, Uttara's fetus from the Brahmastra weapon. He protected Gajendra. He protected so many of his devotees just by the mere fact that they are devotees of the Lord. So we should strive to become devotees of the Lord, and it's a very simple process in this age of Kali. We simply chant his holy names. And out of 24 hours, we can just use 2 hours for it. If someone gives you $24 million to start a business, and then he becomes bankrupt, and he comes to you to say, please, can you give me $2,000? And you say, well, I'm going to think about it. He gave you $24 million. He's now requesting, he's bankrupt, and he's coming to say, please, can you give me $2,000 because I wanted to fix something here and I don't have. So Krishna is only requesting us to give him 2 hours. He gave 24 hours without paying bills for those hours. American jobs are based on hours. You pay on hourly basis. Krishna gives us 24 hours. He's not asking anything. Now Lord Chaitanya has brought rock down bottom, that we don't even need to leave our homes. We don't need to give up what we are doing. We just need to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and attain perfection, like Maharaj Parikshit did. And so the process is involving that of basically a dialogue. Someone is speaking and some people are listening. And so this process should be sustained. We should continue with this process that Prabhupada has given to us. But we need to come together, to work together, to understand that this, whatever I'm doing in devotional service, is for my own purification, and it's a service to Krishna, it's a service to Prabhupada. Any comments or questions on this point?
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for a nice, succinct lecture to the point, the importance of chanting. And I personally liked using the term bulletproof. We have to get ourselves bulletproof in the morning when we're going out, and we are, prepared with the holy name, and then the day works out better. I also have experience of it, that when you chant in the morning or day, you put Krishna first, he puts you first. So it's very, very Very, very, very nice. Dear devotee, this is the time to unmute yourself if you have some realizations that you want to share, questions that you want to ask, some dots that you want to connect. This is the time to unmute yourself, and please take advantage of Dr. Vasudeva. We don't have much opportunity to see him. He travels all over the world, and now he's on our Zoom program. So please take advantage of the situation. Hare Krishna. Please.
Hare
Yeah, go
Krishna
ahead.
Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all good to Shri Prabhupada. Maharaj, thank you for an amazing, powerful class, and especially how important it is for us to really take our spiritual life very urgently in an emergency consciousness. Maharaj, when you were speaking about, children, teenagers or youth wanting to chant, and just by you sharing the, 2-3 incidents, it's like saying Kali Yuga is like really progressing so fast. And sadly, even amongst children or youth that want to chant. And when you mentioned March, you mentioned even incidents in U.S. with Indian families. March, it's really sad that young people want to take up a spiritual life, but they face this opposition from parents. What can those young people do, March? Because I come across a few men and young boys even in New York. They want to become brahmacharis, but the parents are like dead set against it. So what can they do, Maharaj? Like, how can they really pursue the Krishna consciousness with so much family opposition?
Yeah. Thank you very much. See, I had let me narrate a story. Now, I was in Vrindavan. No, I was in Mayapur. I gave a class in Mayapur one time. And then one girl, one European girl, she came to me and was asking some questions. She was really skinny. So I made a joke that, why are you so skinny? You're supposed to be fleshy so that you can attract people to Krishna consciousness. She was laughing at me. She says, this is the mood of the Braja buses. And she told me her story. She told me her story that, she wanted to be a devotee. When she wanted to be a full-time devotee, but her mother said, no way, you're not doing that. You go to college. So, she subscribed to the mother's idea. So she asked the mother, what do you want me to study? She said, go and study medicine. And so she went to college, she went to medical school. She studied, she got a degree. She came back and delivered the certificate to the mother. I said, Mom, I'm finished. This is the certificate. So then the mother, she was so excited. She said, right now, you have satisfied me. Now you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You want to go and become your devotee? You go. I don't care. You've done something to satisfy me. So some of the parents actually they are helping the devotees to understand how to be a devotee is not such an easy job. And so when they have a chance to become independent, for instance, the guy who was asking me what to do because the parents don't allow him to chant. So I said, no, right now you're under the care of your parents. So don't pose yourself when you're chanting. You can be in your room and hide yourself to chant. And there was another case, like this girl was almost like wanting to become a full-time devotee, but she was in college or something like that. And then she would chant. She had Tulsi plant that she worships at home, and the parents are very much against her chanting. And she was completely frustrated. So I said, listen, see, your parents are not in favor of your cultivation of bhakti. Why you have to show them you are doing this? Stop the Tulsi worship and lock up yourself in your room if you want to chant, and chant there. At least if they don't come there to break the door, you are safe. So I, for one, I don't create some type of a discord in the families. I want the children to understand also the parents' view. They have authority over them. They are the ones sponsoring them in school and all these things. But ideally, when the child is encouraged to do whatever they can. Some people, when they go to college, they are on campus, and the parents are not there to monitor and watch them. So they can do their devotional service, they can be chanting. But if you are living with your parents at home and the parents are very much antagonistic, there is not much the child can do, because otherwise we can't tell them to run away from home, because what will they do with their lives without skills? They need to go to school. And so the idea is that the kids should be advised to be adjustive to the point that when they become independent, they can make their decisions family without anyone's interference. Because in some cases, also, we find situations where children are encouraged by some devotees, and I want devotees all over the world, each place I go to, as people are schooling, encourage them to finish their studies. Do not coerce anybody to come and live in the temple, because then the parents see the movement as a movement that, you know, sets up children against their family. The parents don't seem to understand the value, the importance of devotional service, and some of them are not pious enough to understand the importance of devotional values in everyday reality. And so we do not necessarily create a dissension in the family, asking children to be disobedient to their parents, but we encourage the children to be at least do their chanting in a secluded place where they are not seen by their parents. If they have their own rooms, they can stay in their own room to chant. And you know, by the time they become independent, nobody's going to come and check them. In fact, even with Indian parents, you find that when you start having your own, you're working, you have graduated, you're working, you make a decision, nobody comes to bother you. Because at the time they are feeding you, they're caring for you, they can always try to control you. But when you become independent, you can choose to do what you want to do with your life. So encouraging children to be adjustive, I think that is the watchword.
Thank you very much for that explanation. Go ahead. Unfair.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah. Any other comments? What is most of you are parents, so you know what's going on in the house. And if you want to share some things to get advice, that will be, to your advantage. So in the meantime, whatever you think of that is for you, for your family, for the worship service, any kind of challenges, you can bring it out, or you can package it in such a way that, it's not very obvious. Or if you want to do it that way, that's fine. If you're also a bit personal, just come out and say it like it is too. That's also good. So we can, so Maharaj can help you.
I have another question, Marge. Thank you, Marge, for that answer. I was trying to figure out how to get Zoom on my phone. It was acting funny. Marge, there's another question I have, Marge, is how can we encourage devotee children born in devotee families to really be serious in Krishna consciousness? I mean, I do understand that definitely it's important to have the balance so that they don't get, burnt out, or what the term is, but how can they also see that they're so fortunate to have been born in a devotee family, and how can they gradually or organically, I think, the word organically, develop the taste of chanting, and especially chanting with devotional service? Because sometimes we come across, nowadays some youth, they just want to chant, but they don't want to do service, or they don't want to do anything. They just want to do kirtan, and they don't want to do anything. So how can we help them develop that balance, Maharaj?
Yeah. Thank you. This is an important factor, because I've also seen some devotees born in the movement. They're doing services, but then they don't want to be committed, and they just want to do their stuff independently, and they may hit the wall, the brick wall. And so, the idea is that Prabhupada mentions born in devoted family, that's a great fortune, but then they're guided by a spiritual master. And I've seen some devotees in our movement, even some of the children of our leaders, big leaders, they don't have any spiritual guide. They don't want to be committed. They want to be independent, like we have some independent philosophers, independent thinkers. It's a matter of accepting, take something from here, take something from there. So the way we can really motivate and encourage such people is to be lovingly and friendly disposed. You see, if someone realizes that you love them, they will listen to you. But if you want to tell someone to do something based on authority or because you are older, in most cases in Kali Yoga, this is very common. Even your kids, a little kid, if they are, say, for 1.5 years or 2 years old, and you tell David, sit down there, that's time that David stands up to just show you that, no, I'm not under your control. So if we want to help these young people, we need to be close to them and treat them like a friend and a loved one, and then they will listen to us. But if we want to just give them instructions because we are older than them, we have been there before them, and they also understand that they are special souls, and that sometimes goes into their head. I've seen some kids like that. Okay, I'm a special soul, so I mean, I don't really need a spiritual master. I don't really need to chant 16 rounds. I'm doing kirtan, so I don't need to chant 16 rounds. I had a situation in Washington, D.C. I gave a class at Potomac Temple, and one of the responses was that this guy said he's a kirtaniya, so he didn't need to chant 16 rounds. I said, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was also a great kirtaniya and a composer of songs. You might be a kirtaniya, you're not even a composer of songs. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was chanting 64 rounds. So being a kirtaniya, some people have this conception, but I've seen also some of these great kirtaniyas in our movement. I know one of these guys who is married to this, is from Mauritius and married to this European lady. When we were on a retreat some time ago in South Africa, I was invited for youth retreat, and they were also there. These kirtaniyas were also there, and this guy is the leader of this kirtan group. And each morning, 3 o'clock, each time I come out, I see him busy on his mala chanting. So some of them, they are living by a very good example. And in response to your question, we have to get close to people to become lovingly disposed to them, to show them that we care for them, we love them, instead of becoming authorities to instruct them, because people don't like authorities in nutshell. Whatever authorities tell people, they tend to show some resentment. They don't want to be controlled. That is because of the issue above the nature of our conditioning. And we are actually not controllers, because we can't even control our emotions and our sensory modalities. But at the same time, we don't want anyone to exercise their control over us. It's also observable that we are being controlled. Yeah. We don't want to blink our eyes, but we are forced to blink our eyes. So the important thing is that, and this is my strategy, that I get close to people. For instance, when I was in Michigan and the home I was staying, they had a 6-year-old child, and they said that the boy said he was not going to go to college and all these things. So the mother wanted me to speak with him. And I told the mother that, see, I don't exercise authority on people. So far, I'm here in your home. I can create some relationship with the boy, and then one day I will raise the issue. So I did that, and very in a loving way, he subscribed to the idea of going to college, because I put across to him very logically that he needs to do that to be able to get the big house where he's living in. I told him that, I asked him whether he likes his house, not his big house. He said, yes. I said, you know how your parents got this house? He said, no. I said, they went to college, they went to school, they acquired skills. And so they saved money and bought this big house for you. Then I asked, would you want to go to college? He said, yes. So, yeah, we need to get close to people to be able to help them. That's what I've seen in my own personal life. We need to get close to people to be friendly and lovingly disposed, establish good relationship. And I know of a case of when I was younger in Africa, we were brahmacharis. This boy, he was so much like, you know, an undoable person. That's the people complain about him all over the whole community. And then they come to me to complain because they know he's my friend, and no one could really approach him. So what I did was, because I took advantage of the fact that we are friends, and I spoke to him one time, and you know what he said was, Vasudeva, you're my friend. Whatever you tell me, I'll follow. We are peers. We are peers. We take first and second intention at the same time. So a relationship matters a lot in trying to help people. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much for good advice. Relationships, very important, very important. The love has to be there, has to be felt. And then, okay, thank you very much. Any other comments or questions that Woody's want to ask? If not, then Maharaj would like to thank you very much for taking the time to do this program for us this morning. And I'm sure we owe a lot to you in gratitude for so much advice in a short period of time. And we will take it and digest it. And then hopefully we will live a life with better understanding about Krishna consciousness and the balance in the material life and how we should relate to each other. Thank you, devotees, for coming on. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shiropadi ki jai. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.